evening, everybody. Thanks for the intro. My name is Daniel Henry. I am a journalist. I'm a documentary maker. I'm now a communications consultant. Over the last 20 years, I've been telling stories like this.
This is dangerous now. The protest has turned. This is changing.
What do we want? Justice! We want it all! No justice! No peace! No justice!
This is a story about hope, fear, courage, and war.
The government's own figures show there are 3 million households in England alone dealing with fuel poverty.
The situation is that you need to be in Britain in order to process your claim. You can't make it from wherever you are.
So Dan, it's been ages. You're a celeb now.
So, as you heard, Channel 4, ITV, Sky, that's me at the BBC. That was a documentary I did in Barbados for them. That's me at Sky. That was most of this year. So I've worked with kind of everybody at one stage or another. I even got a chance to have a practice at what it's like to read the news at 10. Good afternoon. A British pensioner who said his wife had begged him to end her life because she was suffering from blood cancer has walked free from court in Cyprus. David Hunter said he couldn't find the words to describe his feelings after being released. He was convicted of her manslaughter this morning and sentenced to 2 years, but allowed to walk free, having already served 19 months in custody. The couple... I said I was practicing. Yeah, I've been with kind of all of these places, and I think the thing that I really got over that time was a sense that storytelling really started with me on a desk like this. It started, ended with me at a desk or on the road, and that's what a story was. That's how you told stories, and it was only much more recently when I really started to think that actually that's not it at all. Storytelling is really about the stories that we tell ourselves. That's what's most important. And for me, my story started in a block a bit like this. It was me and my mum. We lived together in East London. And that's kind of where I grew up, and it was that foundation that when I was then going out into the world and deciding I'm going to be operating in the creative industries, that I then thought, well, if I get any opportunity here, I need to hold on to that and stick with that forever, because I couldn't afford to fail. It's a bit like kind of what Ella was talking about before, that sense of that glass ceiling, really feeling like, well, the backgrounds I'm from, there is no safety net. If it doesn't work out and I've kind of gone off to go and do this thing that's not a lawyer and not a doctor and not something secure, well, I'm only going back to the block. But it's more recently that I actually learned that my skills in journalism are applicable in other places too. It's not just about being able to put stories and for me to be able to tell them. It's being able to work with all kinds of interesting brands and places who have got ways of really communicating with people. So when I decided that I was going to make this pivot from journalism to communications, I thought again about the advice that my mum gave me when I was starting out, which was that you've got to knock on every door. No one is coming to your door to open anything for you. So I did. And I turned up at events like this, met people, and it was through that connection, the kind of thing that we're doing here tonight, where you're meeting people, you're hearing everybody's stories, and you're thinking, you know what, like they do something really interesting. Oh, I didn't know that he did this. And that's where the sort of magic happens, where everyone sort of comes together and tries to change the industry from the inside out. So I suppose I'll probably sort of end with just trying to kind of encourage people to take my mum's advice of not being afraid to knock on another door, and being prepared and courageous enough to rewrite your own story if you're going to have a chance at telling somebody else's. And I think that's the kind of story that we can all get behind. Thanks, everybody.